Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I'm Kelly Stewart at Kelly in Vegas, joined by Tony Finn at Finn at WagerTalk. Before we get started, we're talking a little MLB from now through All Star break. I got to give a shout out to Tony. Tony is ranked #1 in baseball right now at WagerTalk, 46-27. That's 63% for the 2019 season, which he has now given his clients a 62% bankroll gain. Maybe I should have asked him about baseball today before I went.
Bail fast.
MLB All Access through the All Star Game special. It was $625, but for a limited time, use coupon code All Star and get it for just $299. Okay. All right, Tony.
I'm in.
Give the people what they want. They want some betting tips between now and basically July.
Always, not just between now and July, not just before the All-Star break or post-All-Star break, is patience. With the Major League Baseball starting earlier than ever before, they spread the schedule out. There's a lot more off days on a Monday, on Thursdays. Today, for instance, is a light schedule. This last Monday is a light schedule. And you will find those light schedules to sometimes be difficult to handicap. There'll be some extreme numbers, extreme talents, extreme public perceptions, and in turn Vegas perceptions, or how they're going to moneyline a team or total a team. But most part is patience and understanding that the first part of baseball is really a carryover from, or at least the first half of baseball is a carryover from the end of last season. I use a lot of underlying peripheral numbers. I use a ton of a lot of sabermetrics numbers that
we can find in your other MLB video with Brian Leonard.
You can find those in that video, but they're so vast, they're so broad, they're so deep that it takes what a weekend warrior would spend on a baseball game, which might be looking at an ERA and a WHIP, and how they did in the last 7 days or something, whatever their formula is. I may spend 3 hours on one game or on 2 games that I really like, and then I make an assessment on whether I even give those an investment. We just did a couple of visits with Marco. Marco's much more patient. He may be one of the most patient people I know. You'll see that he's very selective. He is
very methodical.
Very, very much so. And I will have at times, not that Marco won't, but I will have times have 3 baseball games on a night, and a lot of times double headers. In fact, we come in this video, I had a doubleheader sweep on Saturday, doubleheader sweep on Sunday.
Very nice.
Doubleheader sweep on Tuesday. Had a doubleheader sweep yesterday. And I had, and don't reach. Another one is early in the season especially, don't reach. I reached on Monday. I took a big dog. That dog got clobbered, okay?
That's what I'm looking for. I like those, 2-to-1 dogs, and here and there you'll cash some. I mean, yes. Obviously you don't have to cash a ton versus laying $2, but that being said, maybe give us some tips on where you're finding those dogs.
Here's my first tip: pick winners. I don't care what number, what price they're at. Pick winners. Go with your. Brian Leonard has a theory that's absolutely accurate, and it's much easier said than done. And that is that sometimes you ignore the money lines completely. There's matchups, and if you have an even matchup, you have a coin flip baseball game, and it's the Yankees against the Orioles, then you're going to take the plus 200. It's a coin flip. Even if you're not going to win, there's your value. If you're looking, if you're a numbers guy and that's your value, that's your value. Baseball's a little different than football, basketball, than a point spread game, and that is this. There's also times when you have to lay $2 to win $1. If it's a complete and utter mismatch and you think it's supposed to be $3 to $1, which does happen nowadays.
We've seen a lot of the Astros with that lately. Yes,
Astros are hot, and in fact, their underlying peripherals, people may not know this, but their run production over league average right now is a record, at least it was coming in this week, record setting. It's almost 30%. And no team in the history of baseball has got that kind of a number after 7 weeks in baseball. So the really pre-All-Star game is this. It's a carryover from last season. Make your adjustments. Always ignore the money line when you first look at a game. I don't look at the money line. First thing I look at the matchups. Then I assess the talent, who's on the mound, who's in the lineup. Does the team hit left-handed pitching better than they hit right-handed pitching? There's 100 different variables.
There is so many variables.
So many. But it's simple. Again, teams not as good as they were yesterday. We talked about it in the last video, and that is have a short memory.
All right.
Have a short memory, and do not get off a team because they beat, clobbered, tortured you, bankrupted you the night before, because that's a mistake.
All right, great stuff from Tony. As I mentioned to start the video, you can get Tony's all access through the All-Star Game special. Was $625, but for a limited time, use coupon code ALLSTAR and get it for just $299.